Might have to find a towel after this. Leave it behind. No one can swim this fast. This day is as good as it's going to get. Has no doubt you've earned the trust and support of this village. Actions speak louder than words. Is always willing to listen. You did good here. Says you should take care. Nothing like a story with an unexpected ending. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Understands completely. Let's see. Feels like a dip in the water would be wonderful. See that broken boat over there? Looks like it still floats. Did you hear thunder? So shiny. It's the Porky Puff nibbling bark. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down Out-of-Date's leg. Punish the quacks. Ain't that cute? A two-bit playing with quacks. Can you feel it? It's the brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another world eater. You're halfway there. He's got word out of date spotted Lupin and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it. Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the predator. Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed Lupin will stay put until you're there. The day can't come soon enough. Plastic scrap like that over there could be useful. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupa Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupa Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. Says you'll meet again. Doesn't riding a beast like this feel good? Lupa Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupa Lupin's camp. Lupa Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Looper Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. The hours fly by in the dark. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Says you should take it easy. Move like a dancer. Let's see. Don't look that beastie in the sears. It's serene and beautiful here. This region is known as the Knupstonies. You can't find a harder place in the world. Ah, the Gnote pen. Nocco never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see.
Puri kumbalamuma. Puri kumbalamuma.
Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again.
Asana yotpa kamonu.
She wonders if you remember her. She's Nocco. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid.
Asana yotpa.
Nocco remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark.
Asilnatu.
But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going.
Sana yote. Ingavaldo.
Seems reluctant to even say its name. It's become personal to her too, since it's taken so many of her innocent gnotes as prey.
Kala kodotuku.
Nocco remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be.
Amu dropalum. Anora kapapum.
She sees you're back to buck with Lupa Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Kanyala notoro. Urasa durut.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Asadurutu. Tukonda. Urasa durut.
Nocco says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like until it's worn smooth. But you get to blaze your own trail from here.
Taifanamenuma.
Then you are stronger than her. She can't help wanting Lupa Lupin to pay for what he did to her gnotes, despite the fact it's against her nature.
Run, Dark, run!
It's not a race.
You only say that because you're losing.
That doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, there are lots of other reasons you're wrong.
Ferena masalapu. Urasa durut.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever...
Taifanamenuma.
You can't do everything you want, can't go everywhere, can't see everything, only what you can.
Kanamunta. Veri.
So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the gnotes die with it.
Veri. Kanamunta.
Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out.
Boilakudo.
Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day, and sometimes the nights too.
Drumblene marsamambunundu.
Says that's only for a little while, and when your eyes clear, you see everything even better than before.
Boilakudo.
But let's not speak of that now.
Kialdo male canodo.
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Minalagi mamuru. Andro? Drumblene marsamawunundu.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
That it?
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the World Eater.
Kototuku.
It's the most magnificent creature she's ever encountered. A creature straight out of a dream or story. The mountains stretch higher than the clouds. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. You found the Majut Meadow. Watch out for the Majut. Wow! Put an end to it. Sharp steel. How many days like this do you think the world has left? Now that the Majut is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned. She says the Majut is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down. The Majut once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down.
Masammal.
She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the Majut by the crossway. At least,
Ingavaldo, Chialdo, Male, Canoto.
it's easy to describe. A crossway is where roads meet in a knot and merge. This one is in Sector 7J, if you're familiar with Out-of-Date's map. Right in the face. Carving it out. You're injured. Right between the eyes. This mount has quite a bounce to it. Ah, some wood scrap. Always happy to find that. Looks solid. Asks you to check out the wares, confident you'll find everything you need here. Sometimes it's simpler to just buy what you need. Filling your pockets. Well spent. Better get a move on if you want to change things. A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? Someone locked it solid. Want to get your arms swung? Got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, right. Pumping good, looking better. Got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, right. Pumping good, looking better. A balancing act. Locked up tight. That cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate the dispenser. Just a few moves left. Make them count. What you see is what you get. Once it's out of the blind box, that is. You flick the switches in order to greenlight the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark. Daytime is a good time to be outside. Disgusting. Biohazard. Just gross. Guess you still want more than that. That looks like the control box handles need to be wheeled to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go. A perfect fit. Great capper. You need to believe how serious this is if you want to have any effect on it. Says you used to be able to find bleep bleeps whenever you like. They heard there's a cupboard where you... Just imagine. Better those bleep bleeps wind up with you than it... The mountains are so ginormous.
Kanamunt.
With its attention diverted to the chewy bonbon gummy, the Majut calms down. But Noko is still concerned.
Asadurutu. Urasadurut. Kamonu.
She's relieved the Majut has calmed down, but you'll need a heavier sit-tight to ride it than the one she's got.
Amu.
The only sit-tight she can think of that would be heavy enough is one she's spotted mounted on an old-world mecha-Majut.
Kala anora kapapum.
If she remembers correctly, she spotted it at the Smilo Shopperia while scavenging for treats for the Gnotes. That's not so far away.
Andro?
It's a seat you fasten on the back of a mount to safeten up your ride. It can become quite bumpy and risky without. You finally found the village of Bumlidoff. Let's hope the beast keeps listening to you. The Smilo Shopperia. Guess shopping here put a smile on your face. Just stay down. Boxes like this are few and far between. However, that's no great loss. Talking pictures from the aforetimes lacked a message. Better hold on to that. As the iBox broadcasts, it's hit or miss, but when it does hit, it's usually... That's more than stuck. You're a long way from the sun. At least you're not coming out of this empty-handed. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Now hold on. You need to loosen the bolts without rattling the mechanism. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The sit-tight is loose. Time to stop horsing around and get the sit-tight back to Nocco. The mountains tower above any tree. Busting heads. Even more facts in that big brain. Yuck! That there's a sludge gush field, where the company used to suck sludge from the underground. Now it's all over. For a beastie, this mount is so gentle. That's Knuckle Down. It's got an upgrade bench in that little blimp up there. Let's see. Peddler is eager for you to have... This thing has a mind of its own.
Anora ka papum. Vasen kasaman warut.
Now that the Majut's got a mouthful of bonbon gummy and the brand new sit-tight is in place, the Majut is ready to ride.
Kala vasen kasaman warut.
Nocco's been training another fantabulous little critter that'll hopefully become a distraction for the hoof puff when you confront it.
Ferena masalapu. Beri. Aria roche nui mumera.
She's called them glitter moths, and the best way to find them is to go talk to Mito. She's asked him to keep them somewhere safe.
Tukonda.
You'll find Mito at Bright Light. He's a light-headed fellow, but hopefully he'll remember where he stored the moths.
Ferena masalapu.
They're small airborne creatures with bright reflective wings and a conspicuous fluttering flight. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. A wheel match. Tapped hard. It worked. Time to make something useful. Any kind of protection, you take it. A stylish cover for your brains. This place is called Brightlight. Mito lives close by. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it, and even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Figures that doesn't make it any less worth fighting. You found your way through the darkness. You shine like the sun in the sky, but will you use that power to warm the world or burn it? Hopes you see how much good you can do with power like that, and how easy it is to let it drive you mad. No matter where your path takes you, though, it's important to remember where you came from. The past brightlights the present. Wonders if you know how much of an effect you've had upon the world. Your presence changes things like light changes darkness. Did you realize that when choosing where to shine? Figures that doesn't matter. You can't help but shine either way. So happy you know you're helping brighten the world. There's plenty of it that's still worth saving. Whatever happens to the world, you shone as bright as you could. That matters more than you know. Says you did the right thing in taking up with the Myriad. They buy lots of his lamps. That's a tribe that believes in the bright things in the world. Claims he wasn't trying to sell you anything. Now, says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless these days. There's something about you, like you're knit together. Your fate's connected. What you've said, he feels too. So why not call him Me Too? He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last, afraid that when night comes, it might be proved right. Believes no one is entirely dark. Even the worst have a spark of good in them. Mito says he's not only into those who shine bright, he likes things that glitter too. He reckons you haven't seen a glitter moth, and says it's about time you did. Even though they're nesting near gone grass, they never run out of glow. Finding yourself a glitter moth would give you that glimmer of hope you need to continue all the way to the end. Glows with delight at your bright passion for the light. That's the vroomer. Go, beastie, go. That place there's a real fixer-upper, not an entirely lost cause. This is all about you. Whether you succeed or fail, it's on you. Like walking down a trail. Bullets everywhere. Steel punch. You're hurt bad. Head on. Farewell, fool. You'd better get a move on if you want to change things. Glittermoth Cave is right here. Just what you were looking for. Give it a little kick.
Sanna gjorde.
That's enough glitter moths to make her plan work.
Andro?
She wants you to stop worrying about the paths you've ridden and focus on the inevitable road ahead, the one that leads to confrontation with the World Eater.
Andro?
The hoof puff is evidence of the duality of evolution, utterly beautiful and grotesque at the same time.
Ganorota.
She means that the hoof puff has had more time to eat at the root as it's been isolated in the Knoopstonies mountains.
Tukonda. Pala.
So, based on that alone, she reckons it has suffered as much damage as the northwest root that's hidden beneath the surf.
Orasa durut.
It reminds her of the gnotes and, like them, it's hoofed. They're just a lot bigger. Don't let it wander. Point it. You've stumbled into the mushy-mosh mire, where the risk of getting forever stuck is omnipresent, regardless of whether you want it or not. Growl it into a higher gear. It's starting to add up. All fired up. Don't let your mount ignore you. That sealed the fate of the third World Eater. Just one more to go. Out of Date asked to see you again to congratulate you and let you in on the final phases of his plan. This is your chance to get his priorities aligned with yours. Do right by your tribe and the world at large. Just head back to the Ark. He seemed eager to see you again. She wonders if the rumors she's heard about think with the world.
So, What we have here is an opportunity to help.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go
But you know...
Rumble marsa mawun.
Feels
Ina dabsunka.
Noko knows she's known.
Inya valdo. Se.
It's a new day to you. Might as well enjoy it. Can you navigate by starshine? Out of Date thinks the time has come to end the conflict between the tribes. There won't be any winners in this war. You should know it's not too late to change direction by visiting another tribe's fort. However, it might be best to stick with the tribe you've chosen already. He believes it'll take someone with a light perspective and key to counterbalance the Sifu's energy in the end. Regardless of the outcome, you need to play your part and conclude the conquest. It'll be over soon. Out of Date reminds you that the time has come to end the tribe war. He's happy to help. Says you're welcome back. Out of Date reminds you that the time has come to end the tribe war. He's happy to help. Hopes to see you again soon. Let's see. Sometimes you miss the sound of breaking waves, and sometimes you don't. Got word you found the greatest glider of all. Can't imagine how that would feel, to zoom so fast. Funny that you found an ark when you don't need to go anywhere in it. The world's still going to be here. Proud of you for thinking about helping before escaping, either way. Wonders if there are any open seats left in that fancy ark glider.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's...
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Feels thrilled to snag a seat in your ark. Can't wait to glide through the skies. Goop knows he's repeating himself. We'll be around with... Let's see. This box once tailed a chugger-chugger. Now it's just off track. He's helped out of date to get the Ark hardware restored. There's just some wiring left to do before the vessel's ready for takeoff. He just needs to reroute the excessive high spark to run through the proper plug in the system so it won't break the path if it blows. Gizmo isn't sure you'll need to make use of the Ark, though. It looks like your efforts to save the tree and the world are paying off. He knows your good-hearted nature means you won't leave him behind, but you need to work on yourself if he's going to be isolated with you in the Ark. There are things you don't see eye to eye on. It's not that he doesn't care about others, but the fact that the Ark only has 4 extra seats means you have to be picky when choosing company.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to have...
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly...
But you...
He's been thinking this whole thing with the Ark through and has decided he won't be joining you. First off, he isn't 100% sure he... Gizmo will always make time for you. The gooing of the water in the ground is spreading. Let's see. Let's see.
Etchinie. Ruvain.
Mu-
Evazelmet. La fea. Mishakoher. La fea. Nuch. Vaxa u intabadan.
Stop.
Vaxa u
There's a
intabadan.
bright day coming!
Hey, that's going to get you.
The only one getting...
That's...
Oh, do you...
Let's see.